Eric, thank you. Marijuana seizures are way down, but on the flip side, hard drug seizures are way up. That's according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. We wanted to know what happens to all those drugs after they are taken off the streets. And our Digging Deeper team looked into it for us. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo has our answer.
When Pima County Sheriff's deputies seize drugs, they're carefully packaged, labeled, and taken to the property and evidence area. There, the drugs are weighed and placed into storage and could be there anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
Yep. Takes 2 people to enter this secured vault here.
The vault is in an undisclosed area where the Digging Deeper team was given exclusive access to. This is where the street-level drugs that have been seized are stored.
Yeah, these are basically for personal use. So there's several envelopes within the box itself. And it can, it varies on what it is, what type of case.
Eventually, the drugs will be destroyed.
My disposal meds and narcotics file that I'm starting to accumulate here.
Sandra Valencia is the lead evidence technician who keeps track of all the drugs, which ones stay, which cases have been adjudicated, and which ones will be destroyed. Sergeant Dave Andrews is in charge of the property and evidence section.
So we'll research all these cases for 6 months. When we get enough to make it viable, we'll go destroy them.
The marijuana is taken to DEA. In 2018, the Sheriff's Department handed over nearly 7,000 pounds.
DEA takes that, and it does not cost the county or our department anything.
The hard drugs weighed in at almost 300 pounds. That includes heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, and fentanyl.
We partner with the Tucson Police Department, and we take it to a destruction site where it's placed in an incinerator and burned.
They also destroy the medications the public brings into their substations in the Dispose of Med program. That was nearly 2,000 pounds.
We don't want you throwing them in the trash. We don't want you dumping them down the sink. We don't want them in and up, in our water system. Heroin and cocaine.
This is yet another location where the larger quantities of hard narcotics are kept. Some of the cases belong to Detective Dan Pruce.
Still seeing a lot of methamphetamine, heroin's big. Obviously, the fentanyl pills, especially the pills nowadays.
Detective Pruce says they've recently seen
as high as 10,000, 12,000 pills at a time.
He believes, along with the other deputies, that they've done their job when they're able to take these drugs off the streets.
It's potentially life-saving on every single seizure.
Because fentanyl is so lethal and so many people are dying from overdoses, those drugs are handled differently.
We package it in metal cans. Fentanyl has to be what we call a direct entry. It has to be brought here,
where it's placed directly into a vault.
Where we have Narcan, in the vault in case there is any exposure.
So seizing the drugs, arresting the suspects, placing them behind bars, and putting those drugs into the incinerator makes it worthwhile for the officers.
At the end, you see that there is some point in what you're doing, and it's helping your community.
The Sheriff's Department destroys the drugs twice a year. A convoy to include the SWAT team along with armed deputies take the drugs to an undisclosed area where they go into an incinerator. DEA tells me that they send their narcotics out of state to be disposed of. Digging Deeper, Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.